I've been living my best years. I ain't going back and forth with you ninjas. What? I've been living my best years. I ain't going back and forth with you ninjas. This ain't tennis, this ain't croquet, this ain't shuffleboard, this ain't curling. I've been living my best years. I ain't going back and forth with you ninjas. Hi everybody. How you doing? Here's a video from Southeastern PA Community Watch. Okay? Go subscribe. Hit that. Click the thumbs up. See what I'm spraying? It's good stuff right here. So here we go. I'm going to be interrupting a lot. You don't want to hear me? You go to Southeastern PA Community Watch. This guy did some research and he went to city council, and they really hate people like this to go to their meetings. And it gets funny because they really don't have a defense for themselves, but they try to cop-splain political stuff. They try to political-splain. They try to politician-splain it away, or just dismiss you, or act like you're the one with the problem for actually researching what the people do in government. So here we go.
Dan, Upper Marion. Good evening, guys. Sue Ellen. I've been doing some research lately and found some interesting stats. Upper Marion employed 462 part and full-time employees in 2016 at the cost of about $18 million gross pay, paid for by the taxpayers. Which is, good. Who authorizes and oversees the salaries? Is it Dave or is it you guys?
Actually, it's both. We have a process in place where individuals who have base salaries, they have a salary range that they work within. The individuals who manage those departments are responsible for annual performance reviews of the individuals. We have a pay-for-performance program, which we implemented 2 years ago, so that individuals who perform at an average rate would be given an average or possibly no increase for the year.
This guy on the far left is already getting wound up. Look at him.
Those who exceed performance expectations might get a little bit more than the average. Those averages are all calculated and determined based upon a variety of factors, all of which go through our human resource director, and those actually come to us from various federal agencies and also employment groups who determine wage rates for this region. Obviously, the wage rates for this region are higher than the wage rates for central Pennsylvania, and to keep a competitive salary and compete
competitive salary.
Individuals of high quality, we can pay for performance.
Correct. Good. So that answers one of my questions. So I guess that also might answer how you decide on a salary for a new position. It's probably a very similar process.
Exactly.
Okay.
In fact, to be honest with you, we actually had a compensation survey done a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, which was for all department heads, and
it was for all full-time positions in the organization.
Okay, good. It's a little concerning to me as I did my research, because I did a bunch of comparisons with other local townships and municipalities that are very similar to Upper Marion throughout Pennsylvania and in the area. And I found that for the positions, I picked 10 random positions and got salaries and information from Upper Marion. And the other townships are about $8,000 to $12,000 over the national average for a position. We're a little bit high.
Similar townships, similar areas in class or whatever, status.
Dave, not to say anything about you, you're a great guy, you're the township manager. An average township manager makes $76,000 a year. A city manager, national average, is $106,000 a year. These figures are as of October 30th this year. Does anybody want to guess how much Dave made last year? Not to say anything personally.
How much did Dave make last year, everybody?
It's public knowledge, so I'm not picking on anybody.
we know what Mr. Crane.
He made $181,000 last year.
Dope.
Add something. That might be a national average, but if you check what township managers make in the region, it's actually right in the middle of it.
I just said.
Oh, look at it. Oh, little watchdog. His owner is getting attacked. Now he's starting to bark.
I just said that. They're about $8,000 to $12,000 over the national average from the ones that I've done.
If you take a look at second-class townships or first-class townships, county, suburban area of Philadelphia, they make a little bit more than that. I mean, township managers are well paid.
So I guess it's the old adage, if he jumps off a bridge, I'll jump off a bridge with him?
No, I think it's the old adage of, we exist in a very competitive marketplace.
We do.
You want good people, and you want people to...
Competitive marketplace gets paid $110,000 above the national average for this position.
Good job. You have to make
So people that are getting paid $76,000 are not qualified people?
You cannot get a competent, excellent township manager in the Philadelphia metropolitan area.
That's fine.
In a second-class township or municipality similar to Upper Marion for $76,000.
No problem.
Wow. You cannot get a similar blah, blah, blah in a township like this, in a thingy like that, on a Wednesday night while you're drunk off Mad Dog. Then no, absolutely not. They all get paid the same.
So Dave's...
So again,
go ahead.
if you're looking at folks from central Pennsylvania or even western Pennsylvania.
No, I did similar in the area.
Okay, so not every township manager deals with some of the things that we do.
Oh, of course, nothing's always the same. Nothing's exact. I understand that. But the problem I'm having, I'm seeing a
Now
pattern.
he's trying to justify getting paid $110,000 over the national average because certain things done by this commission are not done by the other commissions. And then the other guy said, on Wednesdays when you're snorting coke in different municipalities, when the mayor's black, it all equals out.
Here, because Dave got paid roughly $78,000 over the national average. Sally, the assistant township manager, that position is about $55,000 national average. She got paid $133,000 last year. So actually, Dave was $105,000.
Yeah, you better cock your head. Why are you getting all smirky and smuggy? Look at their faces. And they want to dictate to you what's going to happen. They don't want you telling them how much money they're going to make. This is disgusting. How is this not criminal? How is it not price gouging the citizens? And then you sit there with a smug, stupid look on your face because you have a sport jacket on. You're not smarter than anybody, dude.
Over national average. Sally's $78,000 over the national average. Dan, nothing against you. You're a great guy. For your position, national average is $57,000. You got paid over $104,000 last year, which is $47,000 over the national
More than double the national average.
average. So
Have you taken into account the fact that the budgets that...
there's a lot of factors. I understand. I'm just making a general statement.
I get that, but when you make general statements, sometimes you put your foot, right? So
Nope, not this time.
Sometimes you're comparing apples to oranges and then not.
Now they're going to try that his research is bogus and that he's not comparing the right things to the right things. This is what politicians do. They talk in circles and they do double speak. There's 4 against 1 and he's destroying them both. Or all of them, but the only 2 are talking.
I'm making a generic point is what I'm getting to. That's all. It's just a very... I'll get to it real quick. I'll get real quick. So, Ed O'Brien, that position as a public works director, his average is $82,000. He got 141. That's 60,000 over national average. So what I'm seeing is that we're not just a little bit over the national average, we're a skyrocket, a mile high above the national average. And I'm kind of wondering why, but I got one more point to make before you answer that. Police officers, national average in PA make $52,500. Doylestown average is 59, Harrisburg's 50,000, Westchester's 55,000, Philadelphia, they only average $56,000 a year. Pittsburgh, $51,000 a year. We have an officer.
Police chief in Philadelphia makes
No, these are parole officers. These are just officers. Okay, so we have a police officer last year that made $170,000 last year.
Dope!
We had another one that made $136,000
Dope!
last year. We had another one that made $143,000
Nope.
last year. And these are just foot patrol people. They're not sergeants or lieutenants or captains. They're just regular, everyday police. And that's unbelievable compared to the national average. I understand that we're above the national average. I understand that we want to pay a good person for a good pay. But to be that much higher, to me, is interesting. Police chief Tom Nolan, the average is 102 for a police chief in Pennsylvania. He made $184,000. He's $82,000 over national average. So we got so many positions that are so high above the national average, which is disconcerting to me, and I'm not quite sure why you guys need to do that. is my real question. So my final point is, you get your money from taxes, and we just went through that, and we all know that taxation is pure theft because they never ratified the 16th Amendment by 2/3 of the states. But that's neither here nor there. So I think you guys, you do good.
Not only did they not ratify it, several court cases have ruled that the 16th Amendment gave no new power of taxation. So any power of taxation they had before the 16th Amendment was passed is the same power they had after it's passed. There's 3 people that are required to pay taxes. And I forgot them. Fiduciary of a foreign country, people who live inside the United States but earn their money from a foreign country, and people from a foreign country who earn their money from the United States.
Our budgeting, our taxes haven't gone up like you said, but you must be rolling in some money to not raise our taxes. And to pay these people these exorbitant amount of money is telling me one thing. Your job is to save taxpayer money. Your job is to not waste money. Your job is to budget money. And I don't really think that you guys are not bad, but I don't think you're doing the service that you can be doing. So I think you need to budget your stolen taxes a little bit better. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a public service. A lot of people pay for efficient experts. A lot of money to pay for an efficiency expert. A lot of money. I'm going to do it for free. I'm going to sit down with the heads of the departments. I'm going to follow them around for a day. I'm going to film them. I'm going to post it. And I'm going to have the citizens decide if what they see in a day constitutes the money that we're paying them. I think that's a great idea. What do you think?
Well, Mr. Tass, you raised some excellent points.
Thank you.
For an individual who does some basic research.
Oh, backhanded compliment. Basic research. Time for me to put politician explain this away.
I would suggest to you that if you did real research, you looked at the fact that
Real research.
yes, a Philadelphia police officer might make $56,000 as a starting salary. However, then you have to add in the overtime, you have to add in the court time, you have to add in all the other reimbursable overtime that they make. And I'll guarantee you that there's not one Philadelphia police officer that's making $56,000 a year. And if they are only making $56,000, it's because that's all that they want to make. My point is that your numbers are based upon data that probably came, and I can almost guess the website that you got them up front. They are based upon fundamental research and data that's gained from those communities. It does not take into account operational impacts that those communities have on a day-to-day basis. Point number one. Point number two. We operate and have operated through the law enforcement agency under contract here for many, many years. Whatever the police officer gets is governed by whatever that collective bargaining agreement. It started, I don't even know when it started, but it has to have been in place for about 40 years.
They must have a heck of a guy in charge then to get paid that kind of money.
But I would suggest to you that if you're going to compare what our police officers make, you look at what that entire compensation package is composed of, because many of those workers, many of those police officers actually do get money for working the mall. They'll work a street shift for directing traffic, and those are reimbursed to Upper Marion Township by those entities, whether it's a Lockheed Martin or whether it's the mall, whether it's Universal Health Services, whatever the case might be.
The numbers I put out were just gross salaries, gross pay is all it was. That's all those numbers are.
And that takes into account all of that. That's not just what they get for going out and doing their patrol or their detective work. That doesn't count the court time that they spend either. So that's that one area. Then we look at what we've done with members of our staff in public works. Now, they have been working a lot of overtime recently. We're in leaf pickup time. So rather than hire additional people, it is sometimes more cost effective to pay overtime, and then those individuals are going to have a little higher salary than maybe others do. They're also working a little bit more hours, working a little bit harder for it. I would suggest that if you compare like apples, instead of just comparing what is done in all communities across the Commonwealth. I came from another one of those communities. I know what the police chief was making in that community. It was $35,000. Okay? Smaller community, less service that they have to provide. Similar service, but still less service. But there's just no equity between the size of the community, the demand demand of the job and what is commanded by the neighboring communities. So I would encourage you, if you want to make a comparison, go for it.
Already have.
I want you to go talk to Lower Marion.
Already did.
Okay. I want you to go talk to Upper Moreland.
Plymouth.
I want you to talk to Ben Salem Township. I want you to go to Lake Communities, Upper Dublin.
Already have.
Use a national
Did 10 of them.
statewide average.
Very similar.
You're doing what Mr. Phillips said. You're comparing apples and oranges.
Yeah, it's a shame that you guys just have this habit of just shooting to the stars. There's no reason, there's no other township that I've researched is that far away from the national average.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What do you do for a living?
There's a typical politician. What do you do for a living? You stupid sovereign pig. Everything you have comes from the taxpayer. What do you do? What does he do? He's doing it right now. That's what he does. Dummy. It has nothing to do with what you're talking about. You really are trying to sit there in your suits and your smug, stupid faces, trying to justify tens of thousands of dollars above the national average because you guys are special, and the guy who did his research is comparing apples to oranges all of a sudden, and you guys start to filibuster and talk in circles. What he does for a living means nothing. A judge asked me the same thing, trying to degrade me when I fought a speeding ticket, because he was mad because I actually read some law. He goes, "What do you do for a living?" I said, "I own a restaurant." And he's like, "Oh, well," says something under his breath like the coward that he is. Go tuck yourself under your dress and kill yourselves. You guys are disgusting animals. Sit there with your suits on, your smug faces. The hell out of here. There's people, I'm sure there's homeless people where you live, and you guys are paying yourselves tens of thousands of dollars above the national average because you're special.
Does that matter?
Because I'm asking you a question.
Well, then I'm going to respond by saying, why does that matter?
Because I'm asking you a question.
My answer is, why does that matter?
Well, that's not an answer.
Yes, it
That
is.
is an answer.
So you can either...
I don't answer questions.
You've asked us to enter into a dialogue. So what do you do for them?
I don't answer questions.
You've offered to be an efficiency expert. Do you have any expertise in being an efficiency
I'm going to do it for free. I'm going to do community service.
You know,
I'm going to follow you guys around. I'm going to put the camera at you.
You get what you pay for.
You
right?
sure do.
So you have...
Don't be ashamed to have me do it. Don't be afraid.
Absolutely zero for your freedom, right? So what do you
What is this douchebag talking about?
do for a living, Mr. Taylor?
I hold public officials accountable. How's that? Okay?
So, in order to hold a public official accountable, you really need to know more about what you're talking about. So,
Do I?
Whoa. Are you not getting paid tens of thousands of dollars above the national average? What do you mean? That's all he said so far. You other guys talking in circles with your stupid suits on. Guys in suits are the people you need to watch out for the most.
You've come here with Jim Brown.
I come here with facts and figures, okay? It's a national average. It's not saying everything's the same. I'm not saying that you guys are crazy. I'm not saying you guys are too. My point is, it's across the board.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't matter. We're sovereign citizens.
We're paying for this. It doesn't matter. Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for saying our taxes doesn't matter. What we pay. You say it doesn't matter if it's across the board.
Twist my words tomorrow.
I don't have to twist it.
You just said it, dummy.
You just said it doesn't matter.
Look, we're going to stop this.
Of course we are, because now you're getting put into a corner.
Exactly. We're going to stop this now. I don't like this. I don't like this free critical thinking debating about our actions we take while we pay ourselves tens of thousands of dollars above the national average. You're a sick animal, bro. Greg Wapes, Greg Phillips, everyone named Greg?
You haven't put me in.
That's why we're stopping
What
this.
you've done is you've made yourself look silly.
No.
No. You make yourselves look silly when you try to get away with stealing tens of thousands of dollars of taxpayers' money. You're the one that looks silly. He's exposed you, and now you're trying to flip the script on him. It's not going to work. Your suits aren't fooling anybody. Your little costumes don't fool anybody.
The opposite.
You don't seem to understand that what you're trying to do is to take this generality and put it into this box. You're taking a square peg and trying to put it in.
I'm just asking.
No, he's not. He compared to all the like counties in the area. You're an idiot.
A question why we're so much higher above the national average. You're not that.
Not that much higher. Now you're just resorting to lies.
28,000, 105,000, 91,000, 118,000, 97,000. You're way above it.
And once again, you know, when you're comparing apples to oranges.
If that's what you guys want to
No, he's comparing what you guys get paid to the national average. And it's tens of thousands of dollars more. Sick animal liars. And they're trying, look, they're lying right to your face. They're relying on their status and their costume, just like cops do.
tell yourself, and that's what you want to tell the township of citizens, that's fine. That's fine. It's a very simple question.
Have you compared us to North America? Have you compared us to Ryder? Have you compared us to
I compared you to the national average.
What is a regular patrolman making in the lower America?
Probably about 10,000 over the national average.
What is that?
You tell me.
To think that $56,000 is the national average. What is lower American's patrolman?
You tell me. You seem to know.
What's more American than the American Patrolmen's Union? The Constitution is the most American thing, and the people who follow it the closest in their public service, that's the most American people. What do you mean? We don't care what your opinion is on the thing you just brought up out of nowhere. It's a deflection tactic. And the guy to your right has been squirming and wringing his fingers and rubbing his face the whole time because this guy is putting you in a corner. This needs to be done every week in every city council. That's how you get your country back peacefully.
No, you wouldn't ask that question.
Coming here and saying, hey, look at us.
I'm not saying look at us. I'm asking a very simple question. We paid for this. Is what we pay for worth it? That's my question.
It is absolutely worth it.
Okay, then let's prove it. Let's prove it. Let's prove it. What do you mean by this? We're paying the bill.
How about the people that have...
Yeah, they're paying the bill too.
I'm sorry. Would you like to let me answer your question?
If you want to talk over me, go ahead.
What about the folks that have used these services where our police department has gone up and above beyond?
That's great.
Save their lives.
Great.
To you, that's not the service they should be getting, right?
Who said that?
What? 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 Ooh? What did you just say, moron? Let's go back 10 seconds.
Have used these services where our police department has gone up and above beyond.
That's great.
Save their lives.
Great.
To you, that's not the service they should be getting, right?
Who said that?
Wow.
Why are you putting words in my mouth?
You think that they're overpaid.
I didn't say they're overpaid. I'm asking a question.
No one said they're overpaid. He asked why you guys are getting tens of thousands of dollars above the national average. Let me put this as a screenshot, the thumbnail. This smug looking piece of crap right here. You could tell that's the kid in school that just got picked on relentlessly. Look at that. Oh, God. So evil, like a slithering little snake in a little suit costume.
How we're so much above the national
How many times
average?
have you gone into our police officers' faces with your camera?
Zero.
Here's where they try to slam the auditors. Hey, everyone that slams auditors, every time you say that we put cameras in people's faces, you're nothing but a discredited, cowardly liar. We don't put cameras in anybody's faces. We hold the camera right next to our body, and people walk up to the camera and put their own face in the camera. Again, notice how cops and judges and politicians all have the same demeanor, and they all work with the same culture. It's because I said so, because I'm a politician, because of my status, because of my costume, because of my robe, because of my stripes, because of my gun. That's all it is. It's a religion to them.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Really?
I don't go in anybody's faces. I stand on public property and hold public officials.
police cars and you cursed out the police officers.
Really? Show me that. There's a
Go
video.
to YouTube. I mean, go to YouTube.
I have a channel there.
Anybody here can go to your YouTube
Yep.
site. You can see it. You know, a 2 or 3 minute run up. You're walking up with the camera in the car. You're mouthing off to the police officers, and you're walking away. You're calling them names.
So you're defamatory me. Good. I'm glad you just admitted that because I don't have one video that has that. Thank you so much for admitting
You don't
that.
have videos on there where you're walking away from police officers and calling them names. There's video.
Not local. Only the people that have broken the law and have detained me illegally. And once they realize they detained
That's the part they don't get. That we don't say nothing or do nothing until they break the law. We're the ones being approached. No one's sticking a camera in anyone's face. You're a little lerp. I haven't brought that word out in a long time, but if you want to know what a lerp is, you're looking at one right there. A smug little lerp.
Me illegally and let me go, I will call them exactly what they are.
No, Dad.
Yes, sir. Okay, name the example where I did that besides.
You have a video on YouTube. I've seen them all.
Right?
Yeah, you just skip over the part where the police and break the law first. That's the part you skip over because you're a smug, slimy little snake. Snake.
I've seen enough. I've seen more than enough.
All right, so we're getting off path here. You're making apples and oranges.
Again, they're trying to deflect away from why they're paying themselves tens of thousands of dollars over the national average.
Again here, you're deflecting the truth. Again, I'm just asking a point.
You've made
Right, my point is.
points tonight. Do you have any other points you'd like to make?
Why you guys are that high above national average? That's all. That's my only point. And number two is, when can I start doing a daily and sit down with Dave and Dan and people and actually videotape their process for the day?
I'm going to have to talk to the legal counsel about the liability that you're going to have to sign waivers.
Liability.
No problem. No problem.
I'm going to have a discussion with our solicitor.
I think it'd be a great community service.
So, this is Southeastern PA Community Watch. Go to his channel, subscribe. Never wake a sleeping cop. Alrighty. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit up my Etsy store and blibbity blobbity blibbity blue. I loved you. I love you. I need you in my life. Hey, kids. What do we say when we meet a new man? Are you my daddy? Thanks for watching, everyone. See you. Bye.